My physical disability is cerebral palsy, and I also have a tracheostomy breathing tube. I have my trach because my airway was not open like it should have been when I was born. Due to that, I rely on my breathing tube as my primary source of breathing.
What are some misconceptions about your disability?
The biggest thing would be that I'm unable to communicate because I'm not speaking, but that's untrue. I just have to text out everything that I say.
What is something that frustrates you about how other people treat you?
Going to the doctor is the worst. I hate it because when people aren't used to me, that's when people will talk around me as if I can't understand instead of talking to me.
Welcome to Baker's Bantering. We got our band about to get out. Band about to get out. Band about to get out. Okay, that was Derek. I was playing that and the other one. Anyway, let's say a warm welcome to Katie, Marty, Calvary, Baker, and Miss Valerie Ann Baker.
Welcome back, ladies.
Thank you.
Thanks
Good
for
to be
having
here.
us.
Guys, can we talk about how much Derek killed it on the last podcast?
I actually was so impressed and went right in his room and said, honey, I just listened to the podcast. I think you did such a good job. I thought it was such a great story that you shared with Lily and Stacy, her mom. Lily and Stacy. Stacy's Lily's mom. It was such a great story, and I thought you did both. I thought you both did a fabulous
Thank you.
job.
Thank you.
Derek did a great job asking questions.
He did.
Thanks.
Stayed on topic. Tried to slip in the wrestling, but not too much. It was good. You did a great job.
I'm curious if we'll be able to hear this thunder that's rumbling in the background
I
on
know.
the podcast.
I was wondering that too. Are they going to make a little cameo?
Yeah, if you hear something that you don't know what it is, it's thunder. It's currently trying to storm, which actually
Thunder
I'm
in the thunder,
lightning.
lightning.
Everywhere you go
I
is
thought
That
frightening.
is not it.
Thunder, lightning. Is
Oh.
that what you used to say?
Thunder and lightning.
Yeah, but
No.
my arms are too weak to call them that anymore.
What are you trying to
Wow.
say?
Jen and I are getting back there. He was singing thunder. Hear the thunder.
I got this, Katie.
Lightning and
Make it
thunder.
for the start. Thunder in the thunder, lightning in the thunder, thunder, thunder.
Wow, it sounds like you're saying a bad
lightning in
word.
the thunder,
Okay,
thunder,
okay,
thunder.
okay, okay,
Hang
okay.
on.
Nope,
Lightning
you're done.
in the thunder. Sing along.
This
Bro.
boy is crazy.
Okay, today's kind of a somber day in the Baker house.
Damn, she's really going there.
Yeah, I've had multiple moments today. It is my mom's it's not my mom's 81st birthday. It would have been my mom's 81st birthday today.
Yeah,
So I am a little on edge.
yeah.
Maybe not as patient as typical. And and guess what I did just to really just shove the knife in and turn it.
Did you look at the pictures?
Well, not only did I look at pictures and looked at my previous Facebook posts about,
Her birthday.
happy birthday, Mom. I love you so much. You're the best mom ever, which she truly was. I was, so, and the grief I feel is because I had such an amazing mom.
Right.
So lucky me,
Yeah.
right? For 57 years, I had the best mother in the world. And I'm very lucky because a lot of people don't get their moms that long.
Yeah.
But I found old voicemails.
Oh my God. You really
I
tortured.
did. I dove into the deep end. But it was
Therapeutic?
it was just amazing to hear her voice today.
Well, that's good.
And it was, she did tell me she loved me every time at the end, but it was like, I think I'm going to eat lunch here and then I'll be by later. And, it wasn't like there was any
Super deep
substance.
sentimental
Yeah, but-
value.
Hey, Mom.
the last message she left me was
2 days before she had the aneurysm.
Mm-hmm.
What'd she say then?
Just, I missed your call. Call me back. I love you. And I know I talked to her later that day, and I don't know if I talked to her that Saturday, but I know I talked to her Friday. Anyway, yeah, I dove into the pool, listened to the voicemails, sent them to me by email so I never lose them.
Smart. Had a good cry.
Had a good cry. I was trying to put my makeup on to get Derek to work and go to the work, and it's like, you can't put makeup on when you're crying.
Well, it's okay that he was late because you were crying, because he was very much late to get picked up as well.
Yeah, he was. He was late because I was crying. So
That's okay.
But anyway,
She
yeah.
didn't pick him up till like 2:30.
It's
yeah,
okay.
well, he often makes me wait outside, so I'll just go late.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you might have had some moments today. I did have a moment yesterday.
And I told her to get over it because I couldn't go there with her.
And she was like, I'm saving that for tomorrow. And I was like, no, tomorrow we have to be strong for mom.
Yeah, I'm kind of avoiding it, if we're being honest.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I am glad. I don't know. I did my makeup just now, so like I'm hoping not to like ruin it.
So we're not going there.
Mm-hmm.
I just think
Very smart.
I just wanted to address it
Percent.
because I just think that it might help somebody else just hearing that. And I was actually explaining this to Derek the other day, that grief is not linear.
No.
And it comes up in different ways.
Comes
and
in
today
waves.
is obviously the first time that we don't get to call her and tell her happy birthday,
Right.
which sucks. But I just thought that maybe, sharing it might
Help someone else.
help somebody else just feel like
They're not
it's okay
alone.
if they're still hurting about something that maybe happened a while ago, or they're not, maybe every year it hurts,
Yeah, maybe.
So
Well, and so I got tickets to the Cardinals game tonight thinking, well, this would be a great, distraction for me. I don't want to sit home and dwell on the fact that she's gone. And then it's the hottest effing day of the year.
yeah, it's the only day
So-
this week that is
Supposed to
literally
be over 100 degrees.
Yeah, yeah.
I think we're in the shade, and the storm might actually bring the temperature down before we even get there. So maybe that's a good thing.
I am hoping for the storm to help us out a little
I
bit.
really hope.
But we're 3
We
games
should bring
over
towels
500.
again.
3 games over 500. Yeah, towels. And
Oh shoot! I was supposed to charge those things.
yeah, you were supposed to charge those fees.
Dang it!
The
Well, I'll bring
fans?
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll bring them. Who knows if they're charged?
So, and they're playing Atlanta. Atlanta's
I
good.
knew I should have set an alarm.
And
Atlanta
this is like the
Braves.
first time we've been. It was the first time we were 2 games over 500 since 2022. Jack. Yeah. So, anyway, I'm excited to go to the game. I hope
Well,
it's not brutally hot.
It's got to be brutally hot, but hopefully we're in the shade.
Hey, Mom.
I'm just saying it's like almost not possible to be worse than the last time we went to the game. So
What?
we'll be a step up from there.
The last time you were at the game.
The last time
The
I
last
went to the
time
game
Mom
with
and Derek
y'all.
and I were at the game, it was pretty terrible. We were in the sun the entire time.
I'm not talking about the weather here. I'm talking about losing by 16 runs.
Yeah, well,
yeah, it was like 14 to 1.
I'm
Yeah.
more concerned about the weather than I am who wins, if we're being honest. So
Not
what
me.
a fake.
Okay, Derek, you had something to say. Say what you got to say,
Yeah.
buddy.
You who remember listening to those voicemails?
I listened to Mimi's voice. It was really kind of amazing to hear her voice after all this time, because I've not done that since.
Well, I'm glad you still had some. I actually went back and looked for some at some point, and I didn't have any, which I was sad about.
Yeah, it was really kind really to hear her.
We definitely
voice.
have videos of her.
I have a video of her from my junior
am I.
prom with like my little braids when we were waiting for Jenna to come back and finish my hair, and she's going do 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 Pippi Longstocking.
She's so cute.
Okay, that's strange.
Anyway, you were saying, Derek.
Anyway, you know voices I hear besides Mimi voices?
What voices do you hear, Derek?
Tess O'Malley.
Well, besides her.
Bray Wyatt.
Who?
Mark, Ryan.
I have a feeling.
Lexi Bliss.
Oh.
Lexi Bliss. Call of the Lexi.
Sorry.
Thanks for that.
What's the doll's name?
Lily.
Lily.
Okay, we do have
Okay.
to move on. We do have a interview that will be playing during this episode, but we're just trying to give you a little bit of Baker's bantering before that interview. It is with my friend Sean Gold. He is somebody that I worked with at Festability, and Derek and I did get to talk to him, so that will be in this podcast. But before we get there, we just have a few things that I wanted to talk about. I do have some confessions, some ADHD confessions I
Love
have
it.
to share with you. So, I don't know how this happened, honestly, but I've already told my sister this, but I had just finished meal prepping, and I had cleaned up, and I'm looking at the stove, and there's this spot that looked like dried food. And I was like, what the heck? How'd I miss that? So I went over and I grabbed one of my little like reusable paper towels, and I was trying to wipe off the spot. Stubborn spot. Okay. So then I went back over to the sink and I grabbed my scraper that gets the stubborn spots, and I start to do it, and it's making this weird noise. And I like look at it again.
Like Uncle Howdy.
It's the
noise.
light that signifies whether or not the oven's on.
I knew it.
The stovetop.
The
but yeah.
stovetop light. And it's red, and sometimes it's on, and sometimes it's not. And in my head, I thought it was dirt. Like you know.
Wow.
I literally tried to clean it off.
Total idiot moment.
And it. Okay, well.
Some
I
Actually,
confession should
Katie,
be kept to
actually-
yourself.
I mean, she told me that the other day, and I didn't, give it to her. But now that she's trying to put it on,
Today, it is
Baker's
what it is.
bantering.
It is what it is. There's other people out there who've done stupid shit, and they're like, oh, dang, what
Okay.
happened? Okay, so
Actually,
then today, I walked out of the house, and I got all the way to my car, and I realized only one of my shoes was tied.
Oh,
Yeah, it
well.
was just whatever.
I never tie my shoes.
Not a
I
big
thought
deal.
I
you-
walked in and out of the house 3 times today before I left because, well, in my defense, 2 of them were just 2 separate trips. But then I got outside and didn't have my phone. I also yesterday was leaving your house, and I left, and then I didn't grab something, so I went back in and grabbed it, and then I left again, and then
still
I
left her sunglasses and her Apple Watch at my house.
I did. But I also was driving Mom's car,
crazy.
and I was looking for my keys. I couldn't find my keys, and then I found my keys, and I was like, perfect, let's go. Left. And then I tried to unlock Mom's car with my keys, and that did not work. And then I had to walk
Imagine
back in
that.
and find Mom's keys.
Mm-hmm. And then I also came over here today, and it's a good thing that my sister and I wear the same size because
This is embarrassing.
we worked out together, so I had my change of clothes, and turns out I had only bottoms, nothing to wear on the top half of my person.
I really thought you were going to tell me that you were meal prepping and you made a chicken dish and then you looked over on the side of the oven and saw the chicken. Like you didn't really meal prep.
Actually, Mom, I think she saw Uncle Howdy.
Maybe.
I did this is something that I just need to share because I didn't know this, and I might be outing myself for being stupid, but in case somebody listening also doesn't know this, I would like to tell you guys. So Dad was at the house while I was meal prepping on Sunday, and he was working on the basement, and I put my recipe called for vegetable oil. I put some vegetable oil on my chicken, and I was closing the vegetable oil, and I was kind of looking at it, and I'm like, this seems really old. And turns out it expired in March of 2022.
Sweet.
But it was oil, so I'm like, whatever, who cares? And at that point, it was already on my, 8 chicken thighs, and I wasn't going to go back to the store for new chicken thighs, so we were just risking it for the bit,
Risk it for the biscuit.
Yeah, we were just going to go for it. But I obviously was just like, well, I guess I should get rid of this oil. And I discarded it, and then I'm telling Dad and Chris what happened, and I tell them how I dumped it down the drain, and turns
You're not
out
supposed to put oil down the drain.
I only knew about the grease.
Grease and oil are the same thing, are they not?
Well-
Grease is like heated up oil.
Yeah, but
Ladies
Yeah.
and
I
gentlemen,
only
You
knew about the
should've-
grease.
yeah, you shouldn't. Well, grease is more likely to harden and thicken than oil, but oil still can do that.
Yeah,
but
Chris
it's-
and Dad both looked at me like I was crazy.
Yeah, that's a
and
bad
I was
plan.
like, well, it's too late. It's done.
yeah,
it's
it's
been
bad
done.
plan. Bad plan.
Well, I cooked dinner at Jenna's house this weekend, and I caused a whole fiasco in the kitchen.
You owe me a spatula.
That was Ryan. Ryan literally, okay, well, this is what happened. So I was like making
Sheet pan quesadilla.
sheet pan quesadillas, which, by the way, the aluminum foil things in the fridge are for you to eat. They're quesadillas, okay? But you can't microwave the aluminum foil. Anyway,
Thank you for that update.
I was making sheet pan quesadillas, so I just had my chicken in a skillet, and it's not my fault. It was the biggest skillet that she had, and it not big enough, okay? We were feeding 6 people, and I was just doing my thing, and a little bit of a chicken came out of the pan and plop in between the oven and the wall.
Ooh.
Raw
Bummer.
chicken. Like,
Yeah,
it
so
wasn't
good
close
thing
to cooked
Andrew
yet.
was over, because he's the only one that could reach down there. But they had to pull the stove out.
Andrew helped? But-
Andrew and Chris pulled the stove out, and then Andrew was able to reach down over behind it to pull it out to pick up the chicken.
Oh, interesting. Well, anyway,
Because he's 6 foot.
so then I
80.
was trying to get, get it with, some sort of tool. And then Ryan came in there and was trying to be helpful. And I literally said, like, all right, we're not going to get it. Like, they're just going to have to pull the stove out. It's not going to work, whatever. And then he's like, keeps going at it. And then, boom, broken spatula. And I'm like, I told you to knock it off. I told you to give up. And now you broke her spatula. But it's fine. Sorry, Ryan. He's going to listen to this. But
So
We appreciate that, Ryan.
at least he listens, because we do have some fake people next door who don't.
yeah, well, now they hear it.
They won't
Dana's
hear it.
been listening.
Dana will hear. And Dana, you're no longer fake. But Megan and Andrew, Megan especially,
Might be fake.
I told Megan she was the fakest of the ass bitches.
Wow.
Megan's literally been on this podcast.
Megan literally sees our TikToks and scrolls past, no like, just like completely ruins our algorithm, like completely, oh, Baker Banter, get out of my face.
Didn't know she hated us.
Okay, moving on.
Let's release
Derek,
Hey,
did
But
Derek.
it doesn't
see-
matter that we just talked some shit on her, because she's never going to hear it.
Derek, she doesn't hate us. She just hates the girls.
Derek, did you see what Travis Kelce did this weekend?
Let me guess. Part of the Eras tour.
Yes.
Did you see it?
Oh, I saw it on TikTok all the time.
This is only the most important thing that's going to happen in the whole year.
He does look quite nice in a tuxedo. He was
Wow,
very
he
cute.
was so cute.
They're so cute.
And his big smile, like,
It
he
was
was just
peak
beaming. He
fan.
was so proud of her. And then at one point, like, in the, like, routine or something, he's supposed to fix her makeup, and he, like, forgot what he was supposed to do, and she, like, tells him, she's like, fix my makeup. And he, like, goes to grab her waist and then has to, like, stop himself, because obviously they're not, like, together in the, like, choreography. Oh, I just love it so much.
He carried her. Did you see?
I saw Jason Kelsey
awesome.
walking around in the Eras tour,
Giving all the
holding his beer in his teeth.
yeah.
Yeah, well, did you see that he had the friendship bracelets on around his ears?
No.
He had friendship bracelets like almost up to his elbow.
And on both ears.
So
oh my
funny.
gosh, the whole Kelsey fam was there.
The
so
whole
cool.
Kelsey
It was a
family
star-studded
was
event.
I don't know why
It
we
was.
didn't get invited.
Yeah, what the heck?
I would, meet Prince William and
We'd like to go to London.
Charlotte and what's the boy's name?
Louis?
Charles, George,
Mm,
George.
Not Louis?
No,
George.
Louis sounds right to me. Prince
I don't
Louis.
know.
There's 2 boys and one
was
girl,
the
and one of the
older
boys
boy.
wasn't there.
It was the older one.
Doesn't
Charlotte.
matter.
I would have just wanted to meet Charlotte.
It was amazing. As soon as I saw it,
I would have just wanted to meet Taylor and
had to
Travis.
watch every single angle I could possibly find of it.
Jason Kelsey did shoving the barricade at WrestleMania.
He's
Oh,
a
yeah,
he's
he-
a rock star, that Jason Kelsey.
Jason Kelsey's pretty damn cool.
So I do have
Bug him, WWE.
I do have 2 things that we need to talk about that are actually wrestling related.
Oh,
One,
that's cool.
I'm going to tease you guys again.
Oh, here we go.
I
again.
have an update about our conversations with our friend. Can we call him a friend?
Logan Paul.
Logan
Look,
Paul.
Paul.
You know, let me just say, it is so interesting
That
to
was
see
amazing.
Logan Paul sliding into my DMs. Not that it's my DMs, it's Bigger Banner, but it still pops up on my phone. And
When you get
never really
notifications,
thought I was gonna get DMs from Logan Paul.
when you get notifications that say Logan Paul responded to you, it's
You read them.
pretty cool. But we are going to save this one for the end because that's how important it is. It's got to go at the end.
I love that.
But
Well-
the other thing that I do want
well,
to talk about
I
that
give
doesn't
it
have
for
to
that.
go at the end that is wrestling related. I didn't want to talk about this on the weekly wrestling wrap up because I do want Mom and Katie's opinions about this specific thing. But did you see that Triple H announced that when Raw goes to Netflix, Did you see what he announced?
What do you say?
He said that when Raw goes to Netflix, it will be uncensored.
Oh, wow.
Uncensored?
Do you know what that means?
What does that mean?
I think that means they can like curse and like probably flip people off.
Oh,
Does
wow.
that mean if a titty pops out, they don't
Oh wow!
Easy there.
they don't blur it?
I don't know, but I just know that
I gotta
Jared-
think those costumes are pretty damn secure. But
Jared-
I'm always looking at them
I don't
highly
know.
concerned.
Tiffany
I
Stratton
can't
always
wait
feels like
for
she's gonna
that,
pop right out.
actually.
Jared texted me about it, and he was super excited. And they did reveal on the Pat McAfee show that they will be making things. Jared said a renewed focus on making edgier content, and he said the PG era is officially over, and we're headed back to the days of the Attitude Era. And Jared said, "I feel like a kid again."
Wow.
So
Okay.
I feel like a kid again.
I thought that was interesting, and I just wanted Mom
Ooh.
and Katie's reaction about
Ooh.
it.
I got a crazy idea. Can you imagine to see Liv Morgan and Debbie Mysterio without clothes on?
Okay, that's
In the covers.
beyond
of-
edgy. That's pornographic. I don't think they're going that far.
Think about it. Think about it. It did it with Mark Henry and
Katie is flabbergasted.
Let's move on.
yes.
That is a crazy thing to say,
Okay.
Derek.
And the final topic before we move on to our friend.
Whatever.
Okay, and the
Her
final
name is-
topic is I thought we should tease our trip a little bit.
Yep, we're going on vacation. I'm so excited. It's the 5 of us. I always say when the 5 of us travel, it might be the last time, and maybe it is because, you know, Jenna's going to get married, and maybe she and Chris will have babies. So, anyway,
Babies.
you want me to give the itinerary?
Yeah, I know you've been
Hi-
working hard on it.
Yes. So
Just give us a brief little synopsis.
we're flying into Reno. We're going to be at Lake Tahoe for a couple days.
We will be celebrating Dad's 60th birthday.
Dad turned 60. We are going to be kayaking on Lake Tahoe for his 60th birthday, which I am so excited about.
But it is going to be chilly.
It will be chilly
When
first
we
thing in the
arrive.
morning. Yeah. We got to get up real early, but we're going to be fine. Excuse me. We're going to go to Lassen Volcanic National Park. And
Kind of like a mini Yellowstone, I hear.
yeah. The hottest, every place we're going is going to be quite lovely, except for this lovely little town, I'm sure it's lovely, called Redding, California. It seems to be right between the Sierra Nevadas and the Cascade Mountains in the valley. And so I think all the heat just, like, it's a target.
Yeah.
I
It
asked
was,
Mom the other
over
day.
a hu-
I was
it's like 106 yesterday there.
I was like, why is there such a range on the temperature range on the places we're going?
Mountains.
And she pulls out her atlas and she's like, well, you see, we're going to be here, mountains. We're going to be here, mountains. And she was like showing me. It was so cute, though, because she was like, let me just show you geographically why that is, Katie.
I
Mom
I really
loves-
love a good atlas.
Loves an
Except she
atlas.
was looking at an atlas.
Well,
What was it, the
I
100th
get ready for
edition?
PG.
And they didn't have the Walmarts in them. And she was like, what the heck is this?
Yeah.
Mm.
Because typically the Walmart Atlas has all the Walmarts. But Redding, California, we're going to stay there for one night. Then we're going over to Eureka, California.
That's
Up
on the beach. We're going to get to see, hopefully,
Fireworks
fireworks on the 4th of July.
over the Pacific Ocean. Up the coast to the Redwood National Forest. We're going to be making some new friends at Noah's Rafting in Ashland, Oregon. We're going to do a whitewater raft of the Rogue River. Katie found that. Thank
Which
you,
we
Katie.
do. We will be making our next podcast there.
Awesome.
And it might
Yep.
be a little, it's not going to be as high tech as our normal podcasts. So bear with us.
Sorry, Jack. Can't afford to bring you on vacation too. And then we're
You
going to
couldn't
Crater
bring us
National
to a
Park,
car.
Crater Lake National Park, which is another bucket list. I'm hitting 3 bucket list items here: Lake Tahoe, Redwoods, and Crater Lake National Park.
Love that.
And then
There's this drive that we're taking from there that has like all those waterfalls that
Yep.
we looked into and found.
yep, I've got those on
And
the
it was funny
itinerary.
because there was like probably like 30 plus waterfalls, but then it would say like the type of like terrain to get there, and it would be like easy walk, vigorous hike. Well, we took out the things that weren't going to be easy walks because Some
Derek
people in our
doesn't do
family
vigorous.
don't do that.
We don't do vigorous, yeah. And then we're going back over to the Pacific Ocean. I hope to go to this place called the Sea Lion Caves, I
Mhm.
think it is, which is up on the Pacific Ocean. And these sea lions, it's a natural cave structure that the sea lions kind of live in, and you can go see the sea lions in their natural habitat. And then we'll come home out of Eugene, Oregon. So if you think you see the Baker family in Nevada, California, or Oregon, you just might.
Yep.
Because that's where we're going to be. And I'm so ecstatic. And I hope,
Yeah.
my only hope during this trip is that we can all be nice to each other. And I told
Well, I'm
somebody
not sure
that.
about that.
And I said, probably the first person I need to talk to is my husband.
Yeah, definitely start there.
It's my time of
Damn
the
it,
month.
start there for sure.
Yeah,
Ugh.
Katie and I
That's
are going to be
We're set up for
hormonal.
failure. We are set up for failure.
Yeah, that's not.
I'll do
Let's
my best.
not go into it with that mindset.
I'm just saying I'll do my best, but like my best is, only so good sometimes.
You know that thing where they say like women sync up?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Katie's on summer break. We've been spending a lot of time together, so I've been right on synced up.
Yeah, I understand. Well, we're still going to be nice to each
We're
other.
like this.
I'm so excited. These are some places I've always wanted to see.
Okay, well, I'm just confused why that's the second to last topic when I sent you things that I wanted to talk about that you never brought up.
What did you send me? You send me things?
Yes, on text.
Oh my goodness. Why didn't you remind me?
I'm
these-
doing that
these-
now.
These comments?
Yeah.
Oh, well, we can talk about this at the end.
Okay, fine.
Okay. With that, I think it is time to get to our friend Sean Gold.
Mr. Sean Gold. All right, guys, welcome back to Baker's Pantry. We got a special guest. Give it up for Sean Gold.
Yes, today we have Sean Gold. Sean is a fellow member of the Festibility board with me. He and I work together on Festibility. You have been a part of Festibility from the beginning as well. Isn't that correct? No, you started like a year after.
I started in 2021.
Okay. So for 3 years, Sean and I have worked together on Festibility.
Well,
and
that's really cool.
this is actually going to be our first episode of July, which is Disability Awareness Month. And the Americans with Disabilities Act was signed into law at the end of July, which is kind of why we originally had started Festibility in the month of July. We have since moved it. It will be in October this year because we collectively as a team decided that July was not a very accessible month for the disability community or really anyone in St. Louis because it's too hot. But it is Disability Awareness Month, and Sean does have a disability, and we're going to talk about that today. And so we wanted to highlight Sean and the work that he is doing in the disability community to kick off Disability Awareness Month. So Derek, would you like to start with some questions?
Absolutely. Sean, I have 3 questions for you. First question will be, can you explain your disability?
Yes, my physical disability is cerebral palsy, and I also have a tracheostomy breathing tube. I have my trach because my airway was not open like it should have been when I was born. Due to that, I rely on my breathing tube as my primary source of breathing. However, I only consider that an ability because it gives me a way to breathe on my own. Cerebral palsy, or CP for short, affects my movement abilities. The exact diagnosis I have is mixed athetoid spastic diplegia. The athetoid causes shakiness, and the diplegia causes me to have spasms at random times throughout my body. This is also the reason why I can't use my left hand as much as I would like. My stamina isn't equal to that of my non-disabled counterparts.
My next question is, how does it make you feel to have disability?
I love my disabilities. I wouldn't want a life without them because I wouldn't be who I am.
Wow.
Well, thank you for sharing that, Sean. How does your disability impact you on a day-to-day basis?
I take twice as long to do things such as eating, typing, or getting dressed. I obviously have to text everything that I want to say as it's hard to understand 90% of my words. It does frustrate me at times.
With that frustration, like what are some of your biggest challenges on a day-to-day basis?
Because I have both cerebral palsy and a breathing tube, there is no full independence for me. I can't go anywhere by myself, and none of my friends have been trained yet, so a family member still has to go with me. They obviously stay back and aren't involved in the activities. Just like last year at Festivality, my brother Brian was there with me and obviously interacted with Allie as well as when we went to her break room area. But besides that, I was helping her with everything like I was assigned to do.
What are some misconceptions about your disability?
Uh, the biggest thing would be that I'm unable to communicate because I'm not speaking, but that's untrue. I just have to text out everything that I say. I was telling Jenna this when we were setting up this podcast recording date. I type slower than most people. Not too much, but a little bit. So I request to get my questions ahead of time to avoid long pauses of silence while typing. I understand that people don't mind waiting, but I also don't want to waste too much time. Also, it could be a part of my internalized ableism to be mindful of others and their time. At the same time, this has also taught me in high school. My teachers and case manager, who were incredible my senior year, would tell me that I need to stop typing in long sentences in order to keep up with the flow of conversation. And that was both great advice and not great at the same time. But I only feel like that with in one person or in person and Zoom conversations, not with texting or group text.
So, yeah, so behind the scenes info for you, Sean and I worked together ahead of this episode to prepare the questions and the conversation so that he would have time to think about what he wanted to say and be prepared and type out what he wanted to say and that sort of thing. Now, I didn't prepare this question, but I do want to ask you, one, when did you learn, like how early in your life did you learn to type? And two, how does, like, I know you, because you do rely on technology in such a big way, like, how, does it make you feel grateful for the technology, or like, how does, being so reliant on that technology make you feel? I'm sure there are frustrations and positives, but what is kind of like the overall of how your reliance on technology, how it impacts you?
For your first question about when I learned to start communicating like this, I was about 3 years old. I started with communication devices throughout preschool and all the way through middle school. In high school, I was more used to texting on my phone. I always say that writing isn't second nature, it's first for me.
What is something that frustrates you about how other people treat you?
Going to the doctor is the worst. I hate it because when people aren't used to me, that's when people will talk around me as if I can't understand instead of talking to me. This just happened again at my last appointment, not with my doctor, but with the nurse taking my vitals. What was irritating was that this is the only appointment where I know that I can do it all by myself without any family member helping. They just stay in the waiting room. But this particular nurse took my vitals and then immediately went out to bring my mother in to ask her the questions for the form that always has to be filled out. I know all the answers. Nothing was different from every other time I go back and answer. You just bypassed asking me the questions and brought her in without asking permission to get her, which was very frustrating.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that I can see how that would be really frustrating. How, if you could tell that nurse or other people, like, how do you want, how would you like to see other people treat you?
Like an equal. Treat me the same way you would anyone else. If you're generally a kind person, then be kind. If you're not nice, then don't be nice. I respect people for who they are and want to be able to know the real person instead of a lie.
What does an organization like Festibility mean to you?
Uh, this is where I can finally celebrate being disabled unapologetically. It was hard to do that in high school, for example, because the disabled community or self contained classes in school were harder for me to connect with. I loved them all, but I was also, quote unquote, too advanced, for lack of a better term, to fit in. Yet I also wasn't completely able to fit in with the non disabled students because of my disability being visible. Plus, hardly any teenager would want to go to lunch with another adult at the table. So I didn't find my group of friends until senior year when I was at my technical high school full day. One of them I still text nearly every day. I still question how I didn't know about Festibility back in 2018. I think I knew Sarah uh, in the organization by then, if I'm not mistaken.
Beyond Festibility, what other kinds of work do you do?
I am an author, a podcast host. I'm a board member of St. Louis Publishers Association as their webmaster, so I handle all of our website edits. Also, I do public speaking engagements, and I'm available to book through collective speakers. It still makes me so happy and excited to finally have a proper, amazing professional representation for that where I'm finally getting paid my worth. I was raised very humbly, so it was hard for me to ask for the rates that I deserve now, but now I don't have to.
And what fulfills you about the work that you do?
I love making connections. Where else would I be able to meet incredible people like Imani Kachi or Ali Stroker and become friends with some of them? Like, do you realize that all three of them are really A-listeners in our community? Naji and her team are so incredible and wonderful people. I try not to ask for too much, but Lachi has been on my first podcast season, and it was before my podcast was even publicly announced.
That's awesome. I'm really glad that you've been able to make those connections, especially through Festibility. Derek, do you have another question?
Yeah, I do. My next question, tell us about your awesome podcast.
One way that I encourage people to challenge their views about disabled and chronically ill community is through my podcast called Crippled by Culture. It's a YouTube podcast that discusses everything in life and relates it to the disabled and chronically ill community, celebrating the disability community through education, empowerment, unity, and intersectionality. We strongly hold anti-racist, anti-patriarchy, anti-CIS heteronormativity, queer-affirming, and absolutely anti-ableist values. I want you to share your experiences with us in the world, whether you want to talk about music, advocacy, your favorite music, genres, medical trauma, or the education system. I will talk to you about your passion from a disability lens. The first season had a wide range of topics from school accommodations to dancing to human trafficking. I was able to interview Lachi, who is a black blind singer and songwriter, and even the former co host of The Real, Janine Mai. Season 2 has been airing on Sunday evenings, and it's available on YouTube and all podcast platforms. The season 2 finale was another celebrity who is now my friend, Duran Bernard. He's an R&B singer. We need to go together to his concert when he's back in St. Louis. You'll love how animated his personality is and how it comes through his music. Josh, who is speaking for me today, is one of the voice transcribers for the podcast.
That's awesome. I think that's really cool that you're able to do that and to share your own story, share other people's stories. What do you hope to teach people about the disability community?
Mostly history and disability rights, along with intersectionality. I've done speeches on my own disability, the school system, and political things. My podcast, in particular, is a place to bridge the gaps of everyday life and ask what ways that it can be accessible for everyone. I think it's my job to teach that what we want, or that we want and can do the same thing, even if it requires more accessibility or adaptive equipment. Whether it's sex and intimacy or being able to enjoy concerts, nothing is off limits on Crippled by Culture either. I don't bother to bleep out the profanity. Now, I obviously prohibit any ableist, racist, or overall prejudiced terms, but besides that, go ahead. We're unfiltered, so my podcast isn't technically for kids under high school age. You guys have to come on my third season. We're currently on break right now.
We would definitely be happy to come on a podcast, yeah?
That'd be really cool.
Do we bleep out your profanity, Derek?
As long as there's a resin involved, be my guest.
No. The answer is no to the question. We do not bleep out Derek's profanity. Now, Mom might like it if we did sometimes, but typically we do not. Derek, do you want to ask your last question?
Yes, I know I have to wrap it up. My last, certainly not least question I have, tell us about the cool book to working on.
Oh my goodness, I'm feeling the most excited about this. For the past 3 years, I've been working tirelessly on an alphabet book called The ABCs of Disability, which is set to release on September 17th. It's going to include 26 terms from A to Z that parents, guardians, grandparents, and teachers can read to the children to help them learn how to understand and empathize with their friends in inclusive ways. I would love to see this book be shared everywhere, and I would definitely come to read to the students on request in schools, libraries, festibility, and wherever else.
That is super exciting. I think that's going to be an awesome book, and I can't wait for it to come out. And I have multiple new mothers in my life that I would love to be able to gift them with this book so that they can share it with their children and grow. I think that that's one thing that was lacking when we were younger, and probably when you were younger as well, was like not only in media but also in literature. Like there was not a whole lot of books growing up that talked about disability or cerebral palsy or Down syndrome. And I think that you putting something like that out is going to be really special. And I can't wait to have it and to be able to read it. And we will certainly help promote it on our platforms, won't we, Derek?
Yes.
Yes.
I'll agree.
Okay. So who should read this book and who will it impact most?
I think children, teachers, parents, and caregivers. I think it will impact non-disabled children the most.
Yeah, I think that being able to share a book like this with children specifically who don't have disabilities, to be able to allow them the opportunity to learn about disabilities at a young age is honestly a gift to parents. So I think it's really fantastic, and I can't wait to read it. In your opinion, how should parents of neurotypical children teach their kids about people with disabilities?
I love this topic so much, which is one of the reasons why I decided to do the book. So I wonder if Derek experienced the same thing growing up, and please, Derek, feel free to tell your thoughts. But this adds on to what we discussed earlier about being in school growing up. One thing that I dislike about the education system is the false narrative that segregation is completely over. It's false. There was only a shift in where it went from segregation by race to segregation by ability. The self-contained classes that are filled with disabled and chronically ill students usually stay in the same class all day long except for lunchtime and gym. That's harmful for all the students, and there's nothing beneficial about it other than being able to continue the barriers in society that keep the disabled and non-disabled separated and at a huge disadvantage. I think that able-bodied or non-disabled children are taught from ages 3 to 5 or so to ignore the disabled children because they usually just stare. They are told to just look away from us instead of saying hi. Once in elementary and middle school, we are segregated. By the time high school comes, they think that avoiding us is respectful when it's actually harmful. So in this book, for the letter Q, I instantly knew that I had to say asking questions is a part of growing and learning. When you see someone with a disability, don't stare. You can say hello like you would anyone else, and if you have a question, that's okay. Just be polite and first get their permission to ask it, then go ahead. Also, my niece is 2 years old, and she knows that I'm different and that I have a breathing tube. She's not interested in long, complicated answers. She doesn't really understand how I communicate fully just yet, but she's learning. The biggest barrier we had was one day she had a ball and motioned her to bring me it. She kind of understood and gave it to me. So when I went to throw it, because I was going to play catch with her, and she let it hit her head, not understanding. But I refused to take responsibility for that. She's 2. She should know how to play catch by now. So my question for everyone, but especially Derek, is how do you deal with people staring or coming up to ask questions, warranted or not?
I don't know what to say for that one. Whoever do such a thing like that, is super messed up. That's exactly how I feel about it.
Yeah, I think when Derek was younger, and especially in high school, he did get taken out of the general education classroom a lot more in high school than he did in elementary school and middle school. And I've said this a lot on this podcast, but I think it's really important. Like, our parents were very adamant. Derek is going to be surrounded by people different than him his whole life. and he needs to be surrounded by people different than him at school, and he needs to learn how to be able to function in that kind of an environment. So in elementary school and middle school, he did spend more time out of the special education classroom. It was a little bit tougher in high school because he wasn't going to thrive in algebra 1 or geometry or physics. Like, that wasn't going to be where he was really able to learn well and keep up with the education. But as many electives as we possibly could keep him in, he was with the general population and not just with the special education classroom. And I think that is something that definitely benefited Derek, to be able to be surrounded by his peers in that way. And I think that is kind of why now he's kind of like, I don't know what to say to that, because for him, he luckily did have a pretty positive experience being surrounded by the general population. But that is something that I think needs to continue to be challenged in the school system in a way, and to find a way to make other classes more accessible, so that maybe younger kids who do have cerebral palsy like you do, Sean, can potentially have a different experience than the one you maybe had in school. So when the book comes out, what are you most excited about?
As hard as this journey has been, I feel like God is about to take my message and career so much further with this book. Many times I've thought about giving up because doing a children's book independently as a self-published author and not deciding to go to the traditional publishing route took a lot of money. It's been hard, as I've always been financially responsible since I turned 18. I'm talking very good and way better than most people in my age group. So I don't have any hesitation that God is going to surprise me. I don't think I'm ready for it.
Yeah, I can see just, the smile on your face, how much it means to you. And I also think that God has big plans in store for you. I cannot wait to see the book. I'm really excited for it to come out. So we do have to wrap this up, but I know it comes out on September 17th, but where can people find the book and your podcast and follow you and keep up with your journey and make sure to get the book when it does come out?
My book will be everywhere online and hopefully in libraries, schools, and bookstores. The podcast Crippled by Culture is available on YouTube and all podcast platforms. I'm everywhere at author Sean Gold, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Threads, Twitter. I refuse to call it X. My LinkedIn is Sean Gold. I also have to shout out my book team at Edit Right for being a major help with being my project managers. And I also have to give a thank you to RACSTL, aka the Regional Arts Center of St. Louis, for my grant to pay for the illustrations with the illustrators at Pretend Friends. I couldn't have done it without them.
And will you tell us the name of the book one more time, please?
Yes, the name of the book, sorry. The ABCs of Disabilities.
That's right. Okay. The ABCs of Disabilities at author Sean Gold. Check him out. Check out his podcast, Crippled by Culture. Happy Disability Pride Month. And thank you so much, Sean, for being here. Thank you, Josh, for your help being Sean's voice today. We are very appreciative of you guys joining us on our podcast.
That's right.
Thank you to the Baker's Bantering listeners, and we will talk to you guys next time. Peace. Okay, thank you guys so much for listening to our conversation with Sean Gold. I think it's a very interesting conversation because Sean is not someone who has strong verbal skills. And so I was a little curious, like, how that was going to work for us. And I was actually really happy with how it went. I thought because we were able to do it in such a way where he had the questions ahead of time, he was able to think out his answers, and the guy Josh, who was speaking for him, was able to share his answers with us. And I do think, like, even Sean and Derek are both in the disability community, but yet they both have so much to learn from each other, you know. And that's the thing. The thing.
Did I do great in any of you?
Yeah, I do think you did really well. And I do also think that you were curious about Sean and you learned from Sean, don't you think?
I do. He's someone else, and I can't wait the future of him.
What I'm really excited for is for his book to come out, and it's supposed to be out before Festibility. He's got a children's book that he has written, The ABCs of Disability, and
A B C D E F G is a N N O P.
Did you guys?
T-U-O-S,
Okay,
T-O-V, W-S-Y-Z. Now you know my ABCs.
Which are different than yours.
Did you guys know they're changing the ABCs, like how you sing them?
What do you
Instead
mean?
of LMNOQ or LMNOP, it's gonna be like
she's going to try to sing it.
HIJKLMNOPQR. Like they're not doing LMNO anymore.
Well, I can't relearn it at this point. I don't know about that.
Well, when you have
Yeah.
kids, it's apparently gonna be different because people are like
Not if I teach them.
LMNO, like it's just like not, it's too fluid. It's not like separate letters. And so they like changed it. Did anybody hear that? Nobody heard that?
No.
She's making shit up on the fly.
Okay,
I think she
so
is.
we do just have one last quick thing that we need to discuss. I do have a Logan Paul update.
Logan Paul update. That is awesome. Well, I got like a Blaze update.
Okay, so first of
Give me
all,
more.
Jared has a great idea. Jared commented on our video at Prime, sponsor Derek and have him in the Prime costume.
And then let somebody throw him on a table and jump on him?
Yeah, body slam him. You know, Derek, there's been a lot of things just over the years that have pent up. I think he deserves one good body slam.
I thought
He's always been wanting to get into the WWE.
I thought that you
What the
were
heck?
offering to do the body slam.
I mean,
Like,
if they
I'm-
want me
I'm
and
in.
Jenna to tag team the body slam, we're in.
I'd jump off the ring onto Derek.
All right.
We might have to
In
work on
the
our,
We'll see about
on our
that.
acrobatics a little
Yeah.
We'll see
bit.
about that.
Logan's
They might
gonna
need to
have
put a
teach
spring
us.
for us to jump on or something, because I don't know if we've
No,
got
they
it all.
jump off the top rope
Oh, you can't do that.
onto the table.
I have horrible balance.
I'm pretty sure I would do great.
I can't
Yeah,
even do
all
those.
you gotta do is lay there and take a hit, bro.
I can't even ride those little lime scooters because I'm just falling over left and right.
Okay, another comment that Katie thought was funny was, that's awesome. Just don't let LA Knight find out.
Whoa. Don't lay down your
What are we going to have a fight between Logan Paul and LA Knight for the custody of
Derek.
Derek?
I don't know. Dom might get in on that action.
I got voted for Logan Paul.
And Derek's like, I'm on Team Logan Paul. So I did post the video yesterday of your reaction to Logan Paul. Yeah, did you see?
I saw, yeah.
Did you read the comments?
No, I did not.
Oh well, that's crazy because Drink Prime commented and said legend fire emoji.
They called you a legend.
But not only did Prime comment, also Logan Paul commented.
And what did he
Whoa.
comment, Jenna?
He commented, "We gotta link up."
Logan Paul wants to hang out.
Wow.
So who knows? We might just have to make that happen.
Dreams coming true, buddy. Dreams coming true.
And I just have to say, this one
That's
last
awesome.
thing. When we first were messaging with Logan, I wasn't really thinking that it was actually him that I was talking to when he reached out about the Prime package. And it still might not have been him, whoever I was talking to that time around. But when he responded to the video, it does, in fact, feel like I'm actually talking to him now. And I sent Kyle screenshots. But it was funny because he responded about I sent him the video that I posted of you reacting to this news that he DM'd us. And he said, "Oh my God, he dropped the F-bomb. Ha ha ha, that's amazing." And I just thought that was kind of funny.
Wow.
Yeah, so there's your update about Logan Paul. Logan Paul wants to meet you.
I think
I
a
can't
Logan
wait.
Paul Derek Baker collab would be absolutely epic.
Epic.
You know what?
So epic.
You know what? I don't mind to have cyborgs with Mom, Dad, Jenna, Katie, and Logan Paul.
Okay.
All right. Well,
I
Logan,
think you
next time
should-
you're in St. Louis, we'll buy dinner.
If our whole fam's going to be there, you got to at least let him include his fiance,
Oh yeah, it's better than that supermodel.
Nina, I believe.
Derek would be
Supermodel.
happy to spend some time with his fiance as well, I'm sure.
This is true.
What are you talking about? I think Logan Paul is super cool.
And your
we
producer,
know.
Jack, right?
Yeah, Jack's invited
Oh,
too.
of course
Oh,
you're
yeah.
invited. If we're going to Cybergs with Logan Paul,
And Chris and
Jack,
Ryan.
you are in.
Yeah, definitely.
And we can do the podcast with him.
Okay,
Yep.
I'll work on it.
Derek Baker on Impulsive.
Ah.
Wow.
Drinking Prime.
Well, that's pretty cool. Well, it's funny you mentioned that, Jenna.
That's Katie.
I'm Katie.
Katie
You're
Nicole
Jen.
Baker.
You're not
No.
pulling me. You're not pulling me for that. That's funny because Logan Paul did do the Impulsive podcast with Donald Trump.
That's true. Did you listen?
I did. I swiped on it, and I saw Donald Trump
Interesting.
You swiped
with
up on
Logan
it.
Paul. Yeah.
So did you just watch like a clip, or did you watch the whole podcast?
Well, I think I saw it on TikTok, and I think I follow
Impulsive.
Impulsive podcast on.
So you just
TikTok.
watched a clip.
I followed Impulsive.
You know,
on
I
TikTok.
think
Okay.
I think a Derek Baker Logan Paul collab might be even more iconic than the Logan Paul Donald Trump collab.
Yeah, definitely. Especially
way.
to the wrestling fans.
Way.
Way. Okay. That's all.
Can you imagine
Mic drop.
Logan Paul and Derek Baker becoming the WWE Tag Team Champion?
I am there.
I think
Front
you
row, losing my effing mind if that goes on.
I just can't get over this whole Derek should be in the prime bottle thing. I think this needs to happen.
Oh, I love that.
That's so funny.
People would lose their minds.
Except for the prime bottle's pretty tall. We might have to.
Well,
get
it would just be a short prime.
we might have to get it resized.
we need
for
a new
Derek.
costume for this.
Oh my god.
Well, I don't mind to fit myself in a brown bottle for sure.
Maybe they'll start selling little prime minis so that we can.
Okay,
Derek could be the prime mini.
Introducing the Prime Mini.
Then
Instead
it'll
of
be
like
the
200 milligrams of caffeine,
like
it's like
100
milligrams.
That's
I
smart. We're onto
love that. Are
something.
you hearing this, Prime friends?
I'm sorry, but we're just great at marketing
yeah.
Yeah.
and ideas.
Well,
We
in
got
that
lots, we
case-
got
over
lots
here.
of ideas, Logan.
that case, we need to talk to Logan Paul about SummerSlam and talk to him, invite us to SummerSlam, and I will be in the pride bottle and shock the damn world.
Shock the damn world.
Period.
Oh my god. All right, that's all, that's where we got to end. Shock the damn world. All right. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you again to Sean and Josh for that interview. We are in California. So if you see us in California, Nevada, or Oregon,
It's us.
Come say hi. We would love to say hello to you. Find us on Cameo, Snapchat, all the platforms at Baker Banter. Make sure you check out our vlogs. Jack's been posting some new vlogs that are pretty awesome. So
They
you
have
should
a lot
check
more
those out.
personality than they used to. No offense,
Yes.
Jenna.
No. Jack does a much better job than I
Does a
have
great
ever
job.
been able to do.
Jack's a great addition to the team. We're thankful for you, sir.
Yes.
Guys, I'm thankful for you.
Aw.
And I am wearing, we have Baker Banter merch, which I am wearing some right now. I've got
Well, that's
Life
because she
Happens.
forgot to bring clothes today.
Yeah,
so
this
I
is
provided
Katie's shirt,
I provided the
whatever.
merch.
Baker, Life Happens, Baker Banter helps.
Shout out Dylan.
Shout out Dylan Kuntz. Find it on bakerbanter.com. We've got some other stuff on there too. And
Amen to that.
Like,
Also,
subscribe, share.
come find us at the Cardinals game. It's going to be late night.
all right.
Lit night.
Thanks for
Period.
being here. We'll talk to you next time.
Peace.
Peace.